Hello and welcome to today's Wild Hearthstone deck tech and gameplay video on Protoss Mage. Protoss Mage is, as you can tell from the name, the... let me rephrase that. It's obviously a Protoss Mage. What I mean to say is that it is the class that I think that are have access to Protoss cards that I think has the best, most complete Protoss package. The other Protoss capable classes, I guess, is the best way to describe what I'm talking about. The others require the most amount of like goofy, cute stuff to happen to get them to work. Nothing intrinsically wrong with, having a goofy, cute, fun thing list. You can even make an argument that this is what this list is. But I would argue that Mage has the most well-rounded set of Protoss cards outside of, the ones that are accessible to everybody. And I've found, weirdly, a good amount of success with Protoss Mage after having tried Protoss Rogue, which is all cute stuff. But Protoss is the least flashy of the three factions in terms of Hearthstone. The actual games is a different story. So as a result, you can't do cute, flashy stuff. You don't really have synergies that sort of exist already in Hearthstone that, like with Shamans, the Starship mechanic already existed. So you were able to basically mesh two packages together. The location lock that you saw, the location Zerg Warlock that you saw also on this channel, sort of takes from pre-existing deck archetypes and sort of meshes them with the Zerg cards to make something. Protoss cards, in my experience, are how do I word this? They have to be good in a vacuum. You don't have any other cards that care about Protoss cards in any way, shape, or form. They're the most self-contained. That's what I'm looking for. So as a result, you can't rely on pre-existing synergies to help prop up Protoss. You just have to play good Protoss cards and make a good, clean, I would argue almost mid-rangey sort of deck with this. And the best mid-range class that has the best just generically good cards out when you remove the Protoss. How do I word this? The best mid-range class that also has access to Protoss cards, but if you were to remove the Protoss cards, has access to the best mid-range other half of the deck to mesh is Mage. A prime example, hi cat, bye cat, of what I'm talking about is cards like Star Scryer and all the secrets, and even what's another one like Blizzard and stuff. Like, all of these cards are all generically kind of good cards. None of them are flashy. They don't really have that much synergy. There's just a pile of good cards, and you just have to pilot them well enough and hope that good cards in the hand of an above average pilot will give you success. And it's given me success. I actually got to, I think it's gold, like diamond, and then platinum, I think, in Hearthstone. For the first time ever, I hit the I'm going to say platinum, the one right below legend, basically. For the first time I ever hit it, and I hit it with this version of Protoss, which I did not think would have happened out of the least flashy of the three factions. All that to be said is that the deck is good. It's not flashy, it's good. And we'll show that flashiness when we go now to game number 1. And game number 1 with our Protoss Mage. And honestly, the only thing we might throw back is a Jaina's Gift. This is a perfectly good kind of mid-rangey, that's not great, mid-rangey hand. Things to do early, responses depending on what our opponent's going to do. Although, let's be honest, if you're a betting man, I'd put my money on the priest is going to do some degenerate late game control thing. Probably one of the 2 or 3 quests that see play. Will, and if it isn't, has some like infinite board thing a going. I have to be honest, and I've said this before in a lot of videos, and I'll say it again. Maybe not. Go ahead and turn. Our opponent appears to be disproving my initial theory, which is good, but I'm going to maintain my point here while our opponent does nothing. Real fast. I guess Arcanologist. Play a dude, draw a card. Not flashy, but good. Like this whole deck. But my original point was that, like, I guess isn't. I was gonna say something mean. Are they automaton priest? I was gonna say, with the exception of automaton priest, if that is what's happening, I see the least amount of variance in priest list. It's like really unfortunate. But if they are automaton, it'd be interesting. If they are, I guess we'll play an objection. And we're just going to hope whatever card they copied off of Creation Forge, I think is the one that sees play. If they did forge another copy, or they were going to forge another copy of a automaton, we just want to try and, like, prevent as many as we can. We don't win this game in the long run, because I actually have done testing against Automaton Priest. This is one of those where I talked about how the deck is sort of mid-rangey. That is kind of proving my point. Is a little bit mid-rangey, so it can go faster if it needs to, and faster if it needs to, or slower if it needs to, just depending on the matchup, or any particular state in any given matchup. This is one of those where we're going to have to go faster because their deck is just going to beat ours in the long run. Granted, through a more fair way. What are you doing, sweet puppers? I'm sorry, there's a lot of choice there. If they're looking for automatons, maybe they just got real unlucky and didn't hit it. What are you doing, goofball? I don't know what they're doing anymore. I mean, I'm going to continue to apply pressure. Do a counterspell. Go face. Oh, do you want to go outside? Okay, give me 2 seconds. I have to deal with the dog. Three, two, one, mark. And we're back. And luckily, our opponent did absolutely nothing. I apologize, but I had to let the dog out. And you're going to hear dog barks. So there's going to be another one of those dog edits kind of video. What do we do? I guess we can do a warp gate. And I guess we'll coin out a shield battery. Might as well use the warp gate. Start getting some costs down. My opponent has done the square root of fuck all, so I don't even know what I'm going up against. Isn't that right, Carmel? Hi, honey. You want to come hang out where your sister was a couple minutes ago with the dad? Thank you. Hopefully our opponent does something. Oh, okay. Thank you. Gotta be careful not to step on the keyboard. And your little fluffy tails on the mic. No, you're adorable, but not right now. I love you, though. I mean, I think our opponent's still here. Okay, so they're doing something. I'm gonna assume there's some like Nazoth goofiness happening, which further tells me that I just need to like start turning on a little bit. Weirdly, I'm gonna start like throwing fireballs face. Yeah. I made a bad call and assuming that it was this like some automaton priest thing where it was just like got a bad hand. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't though. I mean, at this stage, fucking who knows. Guess we can do a gift. Then a frost bolt. And with the rest of the mana, we can just photon cannon. Play a star scryer. Then we'll do a ping. More warp gate, so we can just get the Colossus to be cheap, if nothing else. Also, there's a real possibility we may just need to use the Colossus not as a finisher, but as a board clear to sort of like push through whatever goofy ass taunt board they're going to no doubt summon. To just sort of keep on the pressure. Luckily, we didn't manage to object their light elemental taunt dude, whatever his name is, the like 6 mana 6/6 dude that like death rattle heal friendly character 6. That guy, it's actually like really kind of a big hit, even though I didn't like plan for it to be. Okay, opponent. Assuming you're a real human being, which maybe you're not, granted. It's been like 2 days since the ladder reset, and I haven't had a chance to climb back up. But I'm going to be honest, I would very much like to play the game. Call me old-fashioned, I know. Okay, you were there. You were hovering over a card. What are we doing? Wow. Thank you. Cool. I know... Do a shield battery. Again, just nothing else to get Colossus to get bigger. We'll do an ice barrier and just go face. I'm gonna assume that this is a human being. If I understand, and I might be like misremembering it or like remember parts of it correct, I think you get more like not gold, but like tavern. How would you word that? More tavern pass progress, I guess, if you want to call it that. The longer a game goes, so I know, or if I understand this correctly, if you go to like the rope every turn and you play your game like that, that gives you like the most amount of like pass points, for lack of a better word. I'm gonna hope that's what our opponent's doing, because Jesus fucking Christ. Ysera, I guess we can talk about it since our opponent's doing, again, the square root of fuck all. Ysera was a weird one, not only because it came out and I was like, oh, this card's interesting because it gives, you know, neutral classes access to max mana. One thing I found is that sometimes you'll have a Colossus like be so expensive that like all you can do is a Colossus, and sometimes you need to do a Colossus and then another thing. And so this Ysera sort of gave the ability to do a little bit more on a turn than just a Colossus. Since even right now, let's say we didn't have the Ysera, we were at like 10 mana, and like the Colossus was as it is now, but cost like 8 mana. If you were to like cast this Colossus and this would be all that your turn was, not for nothing, your turn would be fucking boring if nothing else. And like you're not really that impactful, but having the extra mana left over after, due to the Ysera, just gives more options, and I like more options. Call me old-fashioned. I guess we can do Twin Blades on the Star Scryer. Pop here, photon cannon here. How much damage do I have on me right now? 3, not enough. Go face. How much? Getting there. At this stage, I think we're going to save the Colossus to either kill them outright or to clear whatever board they happen to summon. I did use both of my gifts for various removal plays and the tempo that removing provides, which is nice. But one thing you do kind of lose is access to, the arcane intellect, so we're really just kind of top decking unless we draw whatever the fucking the Protoss draw thing. I didn't play Protoss at all in my limited time in playing StarCraft 1. And even when watching StarCraft 2, I don't remember what the fucking card's name is. I was a Terran player when I did play, and I was terrible. But anywho, whatever their draw 2 Protoss cards, summon a charge guy. Summon a zealot. Now, that's fine. And the fine's a strong word. We don't love that. We'll take that, though. Unfortunately, we did kind of use all of the cost reduction on the zealot, which isn't great. So we'll just warp gate. Oh, fuck, we're 1 off. If we can kill him with a Colossus, we will. I'm not gonna not take the out. After the last Hearthstone video goof where I missed lethal with the Hellfire, I'm trying to be a little more aware of a game so I don't look like a grade A maroon. That's fine. It's not great, I should say. Chrono Boost, that's the thing. Sure, we'll draw. I mean, that's pretty good, honestly. Oh, that will be the dog. 1 second.
A conundrum.
Three, 2, 1, mark. Okay, we're back. Quickly, shield here. Go face. Resonance coil. Try and go face with the rest. We can't. Why can't we? What the fuck? God damn it. Well. Okay, so one of my original thoughts that they were doing some degenerate ass infinite. That's so goddamn frustrating. I had to let the dog in, though, so, what are you gonna do? What's the Therazane doing in here? What degenerate ass infinite combo is there with elementals? There's got to be something, because you don't run this card if you aren't doing that. It is frustrating in its own little way. Yeah. I think I might have had lethal, but my brain was so caught up in trying to process it that only now did I see that I think I could have just played the Colossus and burned him down. Yeah, do whatever it is you want to do. That's fine. Just don't heal. Just don't heal. And we got there eventually, and we're never punished. Hell yeah, baby. Let's go. 100%. Just in case I'm an idiot and can't count, we're just going to cast the spell. We're going to photon cannon, play a Colossus, get a win that way. And we're never punished. Got there in the end. That's fine. You can have all the big elementals you want for a second. But yeah, that's a pretty good showing of the list. I cannot remember if this was game 1 or game 2. I cannot remember. I don't know. I believe it was game 1. I think. Maybe. Right? No? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. 2 seconds. Unflashy, vast, mid-range class that has the best just generically good cards out. Game number 2, and really fast, I can clearly tell that it was game number 2. I didn't totally accidentally, when I said hold on 2 seconds, was going to check if it was game 1 or game 2, and I didn't totally accidentally close out of Hearthstone trying to close out of another window. That didn't happen at all. But anywho, game number 2. All of these are... Not all of these. Colossus is... The... Colossi? I never figured out what the plural of that is. But anywho, Colossus are going back. We can't even really play them early on, so... Even more reason to not bother. Not to bother keeping it, I should say. Both have Ysera. Very nice. Cool. Gonna be honest, kinda thought we'd draw something to, I don't know, play. Ooh. Cthulhu Druid. Wow, we are off the map. I have no idea how this is gonna play. But I love it. I love when people try things. And Cthulhu Druid can work, especially with all the toys they got in the last wild-only set they got released, whose name I can't remember. Caverns of Time. I guess we can just coin Chrono Boost and go face. Yeah. I don't know how we'll do, but knowing Cthulhu Druid, just generally kind of how... Okay, I was going to say, kind of how it plays generally, but my god, it's our opponent running a bland-ass sandwich of a deck. Which is not the most fun. But oh well. I guess we'll Warp Gate. Oh, my original point. First, Warp Gate, Void Ray, going to trade. What I was going to say is, knowing what I know about Cthulhu Druid, that they're going to play for the long game and hopefully try and kill us with the OG Cthulhu that they have. Although, the deck is trying to do a little bit of everything, which is a little odd. But, I mean, okay, if it works. Luckily, they're trading. So, feeling pretty good and can sort of continue the offense here. Isn't that right, Banana? You want to come hang out with me? Hello. Thank you. Play a counterspell since we know they have the cheese thing in their hand. Star Scryer, just apply pressure. If our opponent is going to try and control... Okay, their deck is fucking all over the place. I don't know what they're trying to do anymore. Yeah. The pack mule resolves. Don't really have an option to do anything. Anyway, just absolutely awkward. Not awkward, just weird. Doesn't trade. Honestly, we'll do a shield battery first. Won't we, Banana? And then we'll do a resonance coil and blow up one of their dudes. I guess we'll trade in first and see what we draw. One turn late. I guess we'll play an objection. Why not? Go face with our Zealot. Pop a Warp Gate. And hopefully with all of the Protoss spells we've cast, our Colossus will be very big and scary when we eventually draw them. If they play the cheese, which I think is like summoning 3-cost dudes, we'll counter that. They play some big dude, we'll counter that. Or that works too. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Guess we could ping to pop the shield. Do a shield battery and another coil. Another shield battery, why not? I mean, luckily, even if we don't manage to, like, pressure our opponent down, we've gained a lot of armor from the extra copies of shield battery. So if nothing else, we might just be able to, like, live through their Cthulhu. Which, now that I think about it, they've literally only played the one, like, Reckoner or Beckoner dude. And then, we know that they, in theory, have the Cthulhu itself. But beyond that, they haven't really done anything. Huh. I guess we'll Jaina's Gift and draw cards. Look for answers. Blizzard. Guess we can do another objection. I don't love having to pop into that, but what are you gonna do? I didn't activate the warp gate, but I'll be honest, that wasn't an active choice. My brain's starting to be a little melted by our opponent's pile of cards. That's a good one. That is a very good one to get to hit with an objection. No cheese. Fantastic. Honestly, our secrets did, like, real good work there. Let's see what we draw. That's kind of nice. I guess we can warp gate to reduce the cost. Play one of the Colossus, and we just need to apply some more pressure. They might even be like a Reno thing, possibly. With all of the, like, dragon cards and all this. I think they've only done singleton stuff so far. I don't think I've seen a duplicate card. And if that's the case, life isn't going to be great no matter what we do. So I guess we'll counterspell. Put them in a spot where if they don't have an answer or like a Reno, honestly, either one. If they don't have either Reno or some sort of answer, we kill them. That's fine. Hey, that's fine. It's not what you would think would be the best, but we'll take it. I guess we can Archaeologist here. Ice block's kind of nice. Do an ice block. Do a Star Scryer. And honestly, yeah, just keep applying pressure. Again, put them in a point where, or put them in a position where they have to have the answer or they die. They just happened to have an answer last turn. If they wouldn't have had, well, there's another one. If they wouldn't have had an answer, they would have died that turn. It's kind of all you can ask for being honest. Is there a way through that? We're at 6. I have a blizzard. So if we blizzard for 2... Well, we're going to do the blizzard just so we don't die. Hang on. Actually, I think we trade first with the Star Scryer. But in that case, it just draws us a gift, and then we can just fireball the face. That works too. We take lethal any way we can get. Again, and yeah, honestly, like that's actually a really good showing of the list. And this is actually, this whole video has done a good job of showcasing the list. It's just a pile of good cards. Doesn't have a great amount of synergy, although you could argue the Protoss cards do have some amount of synergy. At least self-contained synergy. The rest are just good cards. And this is one of those instances of a mid-range deck full of good cards piloted by an above-average pilot. Will, like, get you good results. It's a good deck, and it's fun. If you, like me, bought the Starcraft Miniset and you were looking for a place or for like a home to like actually use the Protoss cards you got, I say look no further. I am not exaggerating. I do not think I have seen another Protoss list other than this one. And if you think that Protoss hasn't seen a lot of play and you want to be the one to change your mind, this is the deck to do it with. And it's good to boot. How much more can you ask for? Anywho, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions, like I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, I'll do what I can to respond to what I see. Thank you all so much for watching. Pardon, that snuck up on me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.